What's going on, everybody? This is Mattdoesfitness, and I've got a message for the guy on crutches who stole my camouflage jacket. You can hide, but you can't run. Hello and welcome to my Throwback Thursday, episode 10. OMG, double figures. Next time I won't be able to do that anymore. I'll have to get either a prosthetic finger or get my feet involved, which, let's face it, is going to be really awkward. Now, today's episode is quite a cool one. I say quite a cool one. It is a cool one. If it was quite a cool one, you'd probably question, why not just choose a cool one? It is a cool one. It's about the day I became invincible. Now, a lot of people ask me about my tattoos. Obviously, they're visible in most of my videos, and they ask me if there's any meaning behind them. Admittedly, I've got 3 tattoos. Admittedly, one of them's pretty rubbish. One of them's quite cool. One of them, there's a good reason behind it. There's a really cool story behind it, and I think the majority of you are unfamiliar with it. So I'm going to show you that now. Now, before I get onto the video, it's over a year old. This is one of the kind of first videos I made where I started talking about stuff. I tried to be funny, tried being the operative word there. Still a little bit awkward, although it was quite, some funny elements in fairness. The camera quality is bad, the sound quality isn't the best, I'll be honest, but the message is still pungent. I don't think you can use the word pungent when describing a message. It's more for like a bad smell, like if you walk past like dog poo or something, you'd say pungent, but I'm trying to spread my words, be a bit more diverse. Anyway, for this video, I would advise that you blindfold yourself, put some earplugs in, get a camera, film the screen while it's playing, get a friend to tap you on the shoulder to tell you when it's finished, stop filming, turn the computer off, remove the blindfold, remove the earplugs, and watch it back on the camera. Enjoy. Oh, hi there, you just caught me reading my Reader's Digest DIY manual. Did you know, for example, a spring toggle is a machine screw fitted with a spring-operated toggle bar that holds back while it's being inserted and then springs open when it is inside the cavity? Okay, this is the real video. Now, I'm making this to tell you about this tattoo, okay? I've had loads and loads of people asking me, particularly recently, what it means, is there a story behind it? And the answer is yes, there is an awesome story behind it. It's not even made up, it's real, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Picture the scene. A late Wednesday summer's evening. The sun is setting as I am meditating to the sounds of the grasshopper. Okay, in case you hadn't noticed already, the tattoo says 8806. Which is obviously a date, okay? It denotes the 8th of August 2006. Now, on that day, I was driving to a physiotherapy appointment. I was driving down the motorway, I was approaching the junction. There was a lorry, like a truck, in the middle lane of the motorway. It was 3 lanes, and there were no cars either side of it. So to start with, there was no reason for it to be there. On top of that, it was a foreign lorry, and it was kind of swerving around. I had a bit of an uneasy feeling going around it, but I had no choice because I had to get to my appointment. So I went into the outside lane and I went to go past it. Now at the time I was driving a Citroen Saxo, which is a very small car, and this was a very big lorry slash truck. I got kind of parallel with it, and then out of nowhere the dude driving the truck swerved into my lane, okay? It hit my car and my car flew across into the central reservation. For a second I thought I still had control of the car, but I was wrong. I went onto the grass and the car lost control. I swerved back across the motorway. At this point there were other cars coming towards me, so I obviously turned back to avoid those cars and my car flipped. Now this is because there was lots of people that saw the crash, so this is their version of events. They told me that my car came back and flipped. Okay, the car flipped over 3 times, obviously doing I guess about 70 miles an hour. My car flipped and bounced 3 times. I hit another car on the way across the motorway. The car finished on the roof and I slid off the motorway and into a tree. The car finished on its roof. I climbed across out of the passenger window. and miraculously I had nothing on me. I was doing this, checking my body, I was scared I was going to find like a missing limb, but I had nothing but a little graze on my knees. Obviously I was very, very fortunate. The crazy thing is that my car was an absolute wreck. One of the wheels came off, the bonnet came off, every single window was smashed, it was crushed. Literally from the seat to the roof was about this much clearance, and yet I had nothing on my head. So obviously that's pretty bizarre, but I was very lucky. Okay, so like I said, I climbed out through the passenger window, the car was upside down, I was pretty freaked out, and the car was kind of, at this point it was kind of half on the inside lane and half off the inside lane. Loads of cars pulled over to check I was okay. A lot of people didn't believe I was the driver of the car because they thought I would be dead or, you know, like in a bad way. But like I said, I was fine. There was no one else in the car. Very, very annoyingly, the driver of the lorry just carried on driving, and it turned out that there were no cameras on that stretch of the motorway. No one followed him to get his number plate, so he ended up getting away completely scotch-free. And the thing that annoys me, that frustrates me the most, is that for all he knows, he would have seen my car flipping in his rear view mirror, and you would assume the driver of that car was dead, but he didn't have any conscience, you know, and he didn't come back to check. He just drove off, which obviously, yeah, is not very nice. And I spent a good 6 months after that desperately trying to track down that car, that lorry. Anyway, so loads of cars pulled over. They were checking I was okay. Me and another dude, we kind of, because the car was half on the inside lane, we had to slide the car off the motorway. The ambulance turned up fairly shortly after because we were quite near to a hospital, coincidentally. At this point I'd been walking around for a good, probably, I don't know, half an hour I guess. I was absolutely fine. I was annoyed that this guy had driven off. But the ambulance drivers, they ran over, they were panicking, they grabbed me, put me on a thing like a stretcher, put a neck brace around me, they rushed me to the hospital. When I got there, a doctor ran out and asked for shears because he wanted to cut my t-shirt off, which was quite funny because I was fine and I actually quite liked my t-shirt. And I spent the rest of the day in hospital, but obviously it turned out I was fine. I was obviously very lucky. Another funny thing to that story, I used to always keep my wallet and my phone on the passenger seat. And after I climbed out the car, I realised I didn't have them, and I walked about 50 metres back down the hard shoulder, and they were sitting right there. The phone was still turned on and absolutely fine. So, crazy times. Okay, so I spent most of the day at the hospital. They finally let me out, and I walked out, stood outside, and it suddenly dawned on me, I'm invincible. So what better way to commemorate this fact but to get it tattooed on the inside of my arm. And that is my story. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.